Hello everyone, it's Jen from Creative Housewives, and today I'm going to teach you how to use the Cricut Joy to customize a t-shirt. We're going to use Smart Iron-On, and we're going to make a fun decal to put on the pocket of an adult size t-shirt. So I'm using black Smart Iron-On. Because I'm using Smart Iron-On with the Cricut Joy, I do not have to use a mat. So I just have my weeding tool out. I'm gonna go ahead and use the EasyPress Mini, and I do have an EasyPress mat also that I'm gonna use. So let's jump into Design Space and we will look at the project that we're gonna create. All right, we are here in Design Space, and this is the image that I'm going to add to my shirt into the pocket. I am on a big smiley face kick. I just think that they're fun, and I enjoy adding them to different things right now. So I just found this in images. So if you click over to images, I just searched smiley, and when I did, it brought up a bunch of different images. You can see there's 105 different images, and I'll show you the one that I'm using. So I'm using this one here. So if I go ahead and add that to the canvas, I'll show you how I created it. So you can see that it comes together and it's got just these two layers. So we have the green layer here and then the orangey kind of coral layer. But if I ungroup those and separate them, you'll see that this, I want like the outline and then those inner pieces. So what I did was, let's go ahead and put these back together, and we'll align center. So they're lined up. So now that I have both of those selected, you can see they're both gray here. This is where I use the slice tool. So go ahead and select slice. And then what that's going to do is it's going to give me these three different slice results, and you can look at them and see. So we have the original green, which is what we had before. So I can go ahead and delete that layer. Now we have this orange layer that looks just like the green one. So I can go ahead and delete that. And then what I'm left with is the inside of the eyes, the mouth, and then that outside piece. So I'm using a gray t-shirt, kind of like a washed out gray t-shirt. And so I'm going to be doing my image in black. So we can go ahead and delete this one off. I have this size to 4 inches. I want it to be just a nice, like not gigantic, but like a nice fun size right there for the pocket. So now we can go ahead and select make it. And we're going to connect to the Joy. I'm going to say that I'm doing this without a mat. And then that allows me to have the extra room. And then I'm going to be mirroring because I am doing iron-on. So we want to go ahead and mirror, select continue again. And then we'll go ahead and get that Joy connected. Okay, now that we're connected to my machine, you can see that all of my favorite materials are not available. That's because I have said that I'm using a smart material. So, or I actually told it I was not using a mat, so it's just going to show me smart material options. So we're going to go ahead and select Smart Iron-On, select Done, and then it says to make sure my mirror is turned on, which it is. It tells you right here, mirror on, and then it says, and then iron-on material is face shiny side down when I load it into the mat. So fine point blade, which I've got, and then we'll load that into the mat. So let's go ahead and get cutting. Okay, so you can see on the iron-on material, there's this really like glossy, shiny side. That's the carrier sheet. And then the matte side. This is the adhesive side. So we want to load this into the mat, shiny side down. And then once you get it past that sensor, the machine is automatically going to like pull it in. And it checks to make sure that your material is long enough, which mine is. So now I'm just going to select go on my computer. And then it's going to cut this out for us. Okay, that's finished. So now on the computer, there's no buttons anywhere on the Joy. So on the computer, I'm gonna go ahead and select unload. It unloads it for us. We can move that out of the way. You can kind of see the cut lines are, I feel like they're pretty easy to see for me here. I'm not sure how easy they are to see on the camera, but I did forget that I'm going to want a pair of scissors so that I can trim off the excess there. And then you will always have about 1 inch of quote unquote wasted material on your smart material projects. And that is because your machine needs that length to grab onto the material. So I'm just trimming this. I don't need to like take the time to weed all of that. And then we'll just go ahead, come down here a little bit closer, and we'll get this weeded. So I'm gonna start by weeding the outside first. And I'm just using the weeding tool with the little hook in the corner. This is my favorite, it's the Cricut. It comes in the weeding toolkit. It's just got that little hook. And then I know I want my outside circle here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and come right inside of that and get that next piece. All right, so that was a super simple weeding process. It's just a fun little happy kind of rock star smiley face we've got here. Okay, so now the next step is I'm going to look up my heat guide settings and we'll go ahead and look at that. Okay, we're here in the Cricut heat guide. If you look up here, it's just cricut.com/heat guide. And I'm going to select that I'm using the EasyPress Mini. Then we're gonna go ahead and scroll up and I'm going to say that I'm using Smart Iron-On. And my base material, I believe my shirt is 100% cotton. Let me check that really quick. Yes, 100% cotton. Go ahead and select apply. And then it's gonna tell us, so we need to preheat for 5 seconds. We want medium, which is the second button. And then we're gonna press it for 25 seconds, remembering to use constant movement, light pressure, flip and press for 15 seconds. And then it says remove the liner when it's cool to the touch. They recommend using the Cricut pressing mat, which is what I'm going to be using. Okay, there are a lot of ways and different measurement guides and everything and stuff that you can use to figure out your placement for your shirt itself, for your, like when you're doing a pocket decal. When I'm making it for myself like I am today, I like to just throw the shirt on and kind of just get an idea of where I want it. So for this shirt, because it's like an oversized t-shirt, I want the bottom of my design to line up with the bottom of my armpit here. So you can see that those are just like right lined up. And then I want my design, I don't want it, because this is gonna be an oversized a bit shirt, I don't want the smiley face to like fall down into like where the sleeve is probably gonna bunch up a little bit as it's falling off the shoulder there. So I want it in a little bit farther. So I have it about 2/3 of the way in on the neckline here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just stick this down and I'm gonna mark the corner here of where I want my the liner to actually be, so I can go ahead and preheat this. So I'm going to take my EasyPress. I've got it on 2, and it just says to give it a quick EasyPress. We're just gonna, a quick press. This just helps remove any moisture, and you know, it is an EasyPress, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And now we're gonna get our design here in place. And I had that just like kind of lined up with that dot there. And then we just wanna make sure that it is straight on the t-shirt. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now we're gonna go ahead and press down using light pressure for about 25 seconds with constant movement. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and flip it over. Feel for our design there, and then do our 15 seconds on the back. Okay, now we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna wait until that's cool to the touch to remove it. Okay, that feels cool now. So I'm just gonna slowly peel back. And there we go. Super cute, finished shirt in just a couple of minutes. I'm using this Comfort Colors t-shirt. They are 100% cotton. You can find them at online or most craft stores. And I feel like that Everyday Iron-On went on really well, even just using the EasyPress Mini. So super easy, super quick, fun project that you can make in just a few minutes. Okay, there we go. In just a few minutes, we created a shirt from start to finish using Cricut Joy. So this fun little, super little machine. While it doesn't have the ability to cut 12 inches wide or 11.5 inches wide, you can still create really fun projects using that machine. So I also use the EasyPress Mini, the smallest little EasyPress. You don't have to have the big ones to do projects like creating a customized shirt. I used a pair of scissors and a weeding tool. This is my favorite one. Again, like I said, it's got the lovely little hook. I love it. I use the Smart Iron-On. Since I use Smart Iron-On, this size is for the Joy. You can get Smart Iron-On for Maker 3 and Explorer 3. But because I use Smart Iron-On, I didn't even have to worry about using a mat with my Cricut Joy. And then I use the EasyPress mat. This mat is great. It does a couple of things that make it better than using like a folded towel. One, it has the, it protects your surface, so that is great. It's really important if you're like me and you're crafting at your dining room table. Kind of an important thing to protect the surface. It also allows you to have more consistent heat. So when Cricut designed this, the point of it was not just to protect the surface of that you're pressing on, but also to turn the heat that goes into this and send it back up to like the back of your shirt. So that helps keep your heat consistent as you're pressing along the whole thing. So I think that's great. All of these are the smallest ones. So this is the smallest EasyPress mat, the smallest EasyPress, and the smallest Cricut machine. So even though I'm using small little machines and different accessories, I was able to create a shirt that is really fun. You could do, like, you could even actually do, this is only 4 inches, and when you're using smart material, I believe you have a full 5 inches that you could use. So you could do something across the middle, and depending on what you're doing, if your height doesn't surpass that 5 inches, then you can cut longer. So don't let the size of the Joy scare you away from being able to make projects that are bigger than even this shirt here. So when it comes to washing shirts after using iron-on, you do want to make sure that you're following the instructions. The Cricut Heat Guide includes instructions for you for this shirt. This shirt is 100% cotton, and I'm using the Smart Iron-On. And so it said the washing instructions for that, number 1 is don't wash it within like the first 24 hours. You want to let that adhesive really adhere to your fabric. 2, you want to wash and dry inside out. So you can put these in the dryer if you're using Cricut Iron-On. They can go in the dryer. Obviously, if it's not something that you would normally dry, then don't. I tend to hang a lot of my clothes to dry, but my kids do not. And so I can say hanging to dry, iron-on lasts really well. Going in the dryer, we've had no problems with it. I believe the Cricut Heat Guide suggests using like a low, I'm pretty positive my children have dried them not turned inside out and have dried them on more like a permanent press heat setting, and it's turned out great. They've lasted for a really long time. So if you have any questions about caring for things after you have added iron-on, using the Cricut Joy to create shirts, using iron-on in general, using the EasyPresses, anything like that really Cricut related, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would be happy to answer those questions for you. If you found this video helpful, I would love for you to subscribe. I will be back again next week and every week hereafter with a new video teaching you how to make a project from start to finish. I use different Cricut machines. You can see I've got a few of them over here. Different materials. We use different heat presses, just all those different things to help you really get to know your Cricut machine. So if you have a project that you want to make and you're not sure where to start, leave that in the comments also, and I will add it to my list of projects to make. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Bye.